The Chinese Journal of Transnational Law proudly presents Volume 2, Issue 2, released in September 2025, focusing on a cutting-edge field at the intersection of private international law and sustainable development. This special issue builds on the foundational work, The Private Side of Transforming Our World, UN Sustainable Development Goals 2030 and the Role of Private International Law, published in 2021, which first highlighted the indispensable role of private international law in achieving the United Nations 2030 Agenda and its 17 Sustainable Development Goals. As the world faces persistent challenges, from climate change and environmental degradation to social inequality and complex cross-border migration, the contributions in this issue explore how private international law can help translate the SDGs into concrete outcomes, bridging the gap between development and sustainability. The issue examines not only theoretical frameworks, but also practical implications for transnational access to justice, corporate governance, and climate change litigation. A notable focus of this issue is the regional perspective, highlighting Asia's legal, political, and cultural diversity. The Asia-Pacific region presents a unique landscape where private international law can respond to the challenges posed by rapid economic growth, population dynamics, and complex cross-border interactions. The issue addresses key topics, including the evolution of China's private international law regime, the role of state-owned enterprises in achieving SDG objectives, and innovations in transnational litigation on environmental and climate issues in countries like Singapore and Vietnam. Contributors also explore the cross-border portability of personal status, the recognition of family and labor rights, and the integration of SDGs into corporate value chains, demonstrating how legal frameworks can support both sustainability and economic resilience. By analyzing the practical and regulatory roles of private international law, the issue emphasizes the untapped potential of this emerging field to strengthen human rights, environmental protection, and fair business practices across borders. This special issue provides critical insights and practical guidance for scholars, policymakers, and practitioners engaged in the complex interplay between law and sustainable development. It also underscores Asia's growing influence in shaping private international law, offering lessons that resonate globally. This special issue is guest-edited by 3 distinguished scholars. Professor Ralph Michaels, director of the Max Planck Institute for Comparative and International Private Law in Hamburg. Professor Veronica Ruiz Abu Naim from the Edinburgh Law School. And Professor Hans van Loon, former Secretary General of the Hague Conference on Private International Law. On November 23, 2024, the International Conference on Private International Law and Sustainable Development in Asia was grandly held in School of Law, Wuhan University. This special issue features selected outstanding papers presented at that conference. It is organized into 3 parts: state, environment, and people. In the first part, Jiabao Zhou takes China's law on foreign relations as a case study to systematically explain the vital role of private international law in implementing foreign policy and advancing sustainable development. Camus focuses on state-owned enterprises, noting that they possess both public and private characteristics, pursue both public and private interests, and thus have vast resources and potential to influence local and global development, making them ideal subjects of study. Zihao Fan explores the complex relationship among private international law, jurisdiction, urban development, and the Sustainable Development Goals. In the second part, Adeline Chang and Stephanie Scherer use the issue of transboundary haze pollution in Southeast Asia as a starting point to discuss the private international law dimensions of Singapore's response to cross-border environmental harm. Bui T. Quyen Trung and Nguyen T. Hong Trin provide an overview of climate change litigation and examine its prospects in Vietnam, focusing on 3 key legal issues relevant to the country. Anselmo Reyes reflects on how judges should act and reason when facing cases concerning climate change litigation. In the third part, Zishan Yang compares intraregional migration in Asia and Europe through the lens of private international law. Stelina Jolly and Prakriti Malla examine international child abduction jurisprudence in India and Nepal, exploring whether the inclusion of gender provisions in the Hague Abduction Convention could help achieve SDG 5 on gender equality. Finally, Rong Chuan-chen discusses recent legislative developments in Taiwan's private international law that contribute to achieving SDG 5, and offers insights into further promoting gender equality in the future. CJTL Volume 2, Issue 2 is a must-read for anyone interested in the future of law, sustainability, and international cooperation, reflecting the journal's commitment to advancing knowledge, dialogue, and solutions at the nexus of law and global challenges.